Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. So, what is my purpose? What is my next step? I need to know what my next step is in the process of what I've been working on. I've got this new deck, a commemorative set, Pamela Colman Smith, brand new at my local bookstore. So what is my next step, my dear Tarot? Tell me what my next step will be. So I'm shuffling with one hand because I'm holding the camera with the other. I'm on a spiritual journey. And if you read the postings that I have been posting throughout, you can tell or follow through on what I've been asking. And those are the cards. That was a pretty good shuffle. Look at that. I have the Empress at the bottom. So I've decided that I should shuffle these a little bit better, so I stood the camera separately somewhere else. And I'm shuffling these new cards. Because they are new cards, this is the first shuffle, really, that I do with these cards. So they feel pretty good. I really like these cards. So, new tarot cards, please tell me what my next step on my spiritual journey is. I've been trying to figure out, I'm having the desire and the need to take a journey to the desert. That, I don't know, in Mexico, a place called Matehuala, which is close to Monterey. And I was there way back in 1977. So, Tarot, please tell me what my next step is in this journey. I'm going through a spiritual awakening and taking a spiritual path that will help me get grounded to the earth. When I was at this desert back in 77, I had a major spiritual transformation. It was really awesome, and the place is beautiful. I had never been to the desert before, so it was a whole new experience for me. So let's see what the tarot cards tell me. What is my next step in this journey? Can you please tell me? Now, this little heart that I'm picking up was part of a bracelet that my mom had, and her husband, my dad, gave her that. And inside of it, she put a picture of me when I was 12, and that picture's in there. So it has a lot of meaning in my life, in my experience. And then this chain, a friend of my mother's gave it to her when she went to the Vatican in Rome. And she bought this chain and had it blessed by the Pope and gave it to my mother, and I've inherited it. My mother passed in 2018, so she was a Catholic. I was raised a Catholic, and so this is what I have inherited, and it's the Virgin of the Rosary. All right. So there we go. The Three of Pentacles. Okay, so A sculptor at his work in a monastery compares the design which illustrates the Three of Pentacles. The apprentice or amateur has received his reward. So in this card, the apprentice is standing on the stool, and his masters, his teachers, are looking at his work. So he's received his reward and is now at work in earnest with his whole heart. And the divinatory meaning of this card is, well, it's talking about trade, skilled labor. Usually, this card also speaks of nobility in the sense of being noble and humble, and then also aristocracy. I always have a hard time saying that word. Aristocracy, renown, being well known, renowned, and signs of glory. Now it is the Three of Pentacles, so that's also a good sign because it's a sign of balance and security, stability. So that's what that card means. So with the triangle, we have three sides that are equal. That definitely means balance. And, well, the Justice card. Wow. As this card follows the traditional symbolism and carries, above all, its obvious meanings, there is little to say regarding it outside the few considerations collected in the first part, to which the reader is very rehearsed and familiar with. That is balance, equilibrium, cause and effect, fairness, justice, responsibility. This figure of the justice is seated between two pillars. We have all seen also this same thing with the high priestess. She is also seated between two pillars. And these indicate to us that the moral principles of which all men and women must confront in regards to their work here on earth is important and parallels those things of higher powers. And they differ from what we know as spiritual justice, which is involved with the idea of election, of free will. Spiritual justice belongs to the mysterious order of providence, defined as the protective care of God or of nature as a spiritual power. Those high moral standards of virtuous considerations which make possible for certain men and women to conceive the idea of dedication to the highest things. Breathe the spirit of this where it wills to present itself. No explanation of it or criticism of it is required. It is like the fairy gifts, such things as music, flowers, shiny objects such as crystals, gems, pennies, jewels, pearls, beads, feathers. It is like the high gifts, those gifts that carry deep meaning and deep connections, value transcending their physical form. And in the gracious gifts of the poet, of which we either have them or we have them not. And their presence is as much a mystery as their absence. The law of justice is not involved by either alternatives. In conclusion, the pillars of justice open into one world, and the pillars of the high priestess open into another. And that is the message. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow, very deep. I like that. All right, so now I need more information. What I'm finding is that I'm getting all of this very high level spiritual connection with these cards, with these two cards. But I would like to use this new deck, Oracle, the Mythos deck. 75 legends, legendary figures from Greek myths. I just recently bought it. This is the first time I'm using it. I bought it at my local bookstore, Bookshop Santa Cruz. And I love the aqua. And let's see what we have here. Yeah, pretty big cards. Okay, so I think I'm going to shuffle these cards. I've never shuffled them before. This will be the first time I shuffle them. So the images in one side and on the other side is a description of the cards. And let's see here. I want to see if I can find. Okay. So what more information can you give me about this path that I'm heading on, these vibrations that I'm getting? And all right, so we have the Pythia. Pythia is the high priestess of the temple of Apollo. She was in Delphi, and she specifically served as its oracle. And an oracle is a person or thing considered to provide insight, wise counsel, or prophetic predictions, most notably including precognition of the future inspired by deities. She was known as the Oracle of Delphi. The name Pythia is derived from Pytho or Pytho, which in myth was the original name of Delphi. And the name comes from Greek, and it denotes a verb, to rot, which refers to the sickly sweet smell from the decomposing body of the monstrous python after it was slain by Apollo. And the Pythia was established at the latest in the 8th century BC. She was highly credited for her prophecies and was considered under divine possession. The Pythian priestess emerged preeminent by the end of the 7th century BC and continued to be consulted until the late 4th century AD. During this period, the Delphic oracle was the most prestigious and authoritative oracle among the Greeks, and she was among the most powerful women of the classical world. The oracle is one of the best documented religious institutions of the classical Greeks. So there are authors that talk about the oracle, and Aristotle talks about the oracle, and other writers, both Greek and Roman. Plato. Still, details of how the Pythia operated are scarce, missing, or non-existent. Modern scholars such as Joseph Fontaine-Rose and Lisa Maurizio, who argue that the ancient sources uniformly represent the Pythia speaking intelligibly and giving prophecies in her own voice. The Muses. Now let's look at what's in the cards. That's what it says. So it says the 9 daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne, which is memory. One of the original titans. Each of the Muses was a patron to her own particular art form, and these included Calliope, who was the muse of the epic poetry and mother by Apollo of Orpheus. Clio was the muse of history. Melpomene was a muse of tragedy and mother of the sirens. Terpsichore was the muse of dance. Thalia was the muse of comedy, and Urania was the muse of astronomy. We think of them today as patron saints of the arts in general and private sources of inspiration. They can be found in music, in amusement. Okay, that's where these words come from. Museum and musing, and whenever we describe someone or something as my muse. In ancient Greek religion and mythology, the Muses are the inspirational goddesses of literature, science, and the arts. They were considered the source of the knowledge embodied in the poetry, lyric songs, and myths that were related orally for centuries in ancient Greek culture. In modern figurative usage, a muse is a person who serves as someone's source of artistic inspiration. Okay. All right. So let's see. Anything else we can say about this card? Let's see. Functions. Modern use in the arts. Let's see. It says the Muses are explicitly used in modern English to refer to an artistic inspiration, as when one cites one's own artistic muse. Where's my muse, I guess. So we have Morpheus. Now, let's see. In Greek mythology, obviously, Morpheus is the god of dreams and nightmares, and the son of Hypnos, the god of sleep. His name comes from the ancient Greek word morphe, which means form or shape. Morpheus is the leader of the Oneiroi, dream spirits, and his brothers, and is able to influence the dreams of gods, kings, and heroes. He sends human shapes or morphi to dreamers and acts as a messenger for the gods, communicating divine messages through images and stories in dreams. Morpheus is depicted as living in Erebus, in the underworld, where the gates to his home are guarded by monsters that show uninvited guests their worst nightmares. He spends most of his time sleeping in a cave filled with poppy seeds. So if we turn the card, if we read what it says back here, it says God of Dreams, the god and personification of sleep, son of Hypnos, of hypnosis, hypnotic, the Oneiroi, those are the thousands of beings charged with the making and delivery of dreams. The Oneiroi. They were under his supervision, So these included Phobetor, or Phobetor, god of nightmares, and Phantasos, like phantasms, Phantasos, responsible for the fantastic manner in which one thing turns into another in dreams, metamorphosizes, and that's why he's called Morpheus. Morpheus's very name evokes the morphing and shifting of the dream world. From his name we derive the word morphine. Ooh. His realm was the edgeless expanse of the slumbering mind. Wow. Yep, the imagination. Let's see. And then it says he inspired visions that were striking to the dreamer. And they still do. But often laden with meaning and difficult to parse, and difficult to figure out, to give it meaning, find the meaning. He had a hand in Cadmus's. He had a hand in Cadmus's destiny. To found Thebes, and gave Hera the dream that foretold Heracles' rise to greatness, proving that even other gods were not beyond his influence. Wow. Okay. So this is what you got. This is what I got.